Hello, and welcome to the Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Each week, they bring you conversations with local Christian businesses and business owners. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Catch the audio on KWIL 790 AM Monday evenings at 6 p.m. The Experience Local is brought to you each week by wonderful sponsors.
BBSI, payroll, workers' comp, HR and business consulting services. BBSI.com. Independent merchant brokers. Low-cost and no-cost debit and credit card processing. 877-460-4747. IndependentMerchantBrokers.com. Bosun Hub. Since 2012, Bosun Hub has built over 350 websites and many ad campaigns. BosunHub.com. Adams Ribs Smokehouse, 210 State Street in Salem. 503-362-2194. AdamsRibsSmokehouse.com.
And now, your hosts for the Experience Local, Russ and Scott.
Hey, here we are, the Experience Local, live with Russ and Scott.
Yeah, I'm in Waco, Texas for the Eclipse. We are here at the Magnolia Silos, and I'll just say something about this. It's really interesting. Of course, Chip and Joe Gaines, local business, doing remodels, doing house flipping, end up with a TV show. They bought these silos back here, turned it into quite a little park. I was talking to a police officer here how it's changed. What has happened is a number of small businesses have spawned around this area, kind of falling into this whole gravity well of business. And so another example of local.
So amazing. You know, that's one thing that we encourage here on the Experience Local. And that is, no matter where you are, you may not be in our local area, but you can do amazing things in your local area. And we have this global network, but we need to be thinking locally and take care of our local community and businesses as well. And that is so great. And Scott, it's so great to have you here today. I wasn't sure you were going to be able to make it. And in fact, you know, our guest today, his tagline is Think Local, Think Landmark. And he is flashing that to me from the green room today to remind me. And Greg Bolton is with us. We're excited about having him on. You know, this show, Scott, is all about believers in business, right?
There we go. So the silos, being an industrial building, are right on the railroad track. So the Union Pacific train just went by right as Russ was talking. So I heard the train whistle.
There you go. And I was just talking about how this show is all about believers in business.
Absolutely. Hey, every week, a great show, inspiring stories. And we're going to be able to do the same today, Russ.
Yes, I know. I'm so excited about that today. And so listen, we're going to go ahead and just get to our guest, but we're so excited to have you all here today. Just remember that it said in the intro, this live streams here at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time every week on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, but also goes live on the radio at 6 p.m. every Monday. And so we're excited about that. Thank you for all you people listening on the radio. This is so great. And so we're going to get our guest in for the day today. Mr. Greg Bolton is joining us today. And so thankful to have Greg with us today. Here he is, Mr. Greg Bolton. Hey, Greg.
Hey.
Hey, there you go. Think local, think landmark. You know, Greg, you and I have been great friends for a long time, besides being shirt-tail relatives. And I want everybody to know more about you. So let's tell everybody, who is Greg? What business are you in? And what are you all about?
Hey, thanks, Russ. Thanks for having me on. My name is Greg Bolton. I work for Landmark Professional Mortgage. I'm a mortgage loan officer, and I have been for a very long time. I started in mortgage in the mortgage industry in 1985. I was 23 and just kind of stuck with it ever since. And uh, love what I do and helping people get into homes. It's a very rewarding job, and I love it. And should I talk about my family too?
Well, you know what? I would love for you to do that, Greg. We're going to just need you to get a little closer to your microphone and speak up just a bit for our
Okay.
radio listeners so they can actually hear what you're talking about.
Okay.
But yeah, I think at this point we're gonna continue on with your family and how your faith just ties into all that you do.
Yeah. So my family, again, I'm a mortgage broker, but my family is well, second to my faith, the most important thing to me. I have 5 kids. We're a blended family. Um, and I've been married to my beautiful wife for be 17 years in August. And um, my faith drives everything I do, business, home life, everything. So um, at least I try anyway. Let's put it that way. I try to put faith first and foremost, but yeah, that's kind of what drives me: faith, family, and friends and work. So the 3 F's and then work.
There you
So,
go.
Greg, how did you get involved doing mortgages for folks?
Well, I started in the industry in 1985, just coming out of college. And so you can't hear me?
It would be good if you just move a bit closer to your microphone. That'd be awesome.
I think
There
it's
you
because
go.
I have this cover on. But anyway, um, yeah, I started in the industry in 1985 and didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just came out of college, but I was placed in a mortgage company and, just kind of took it from there, just kind of worked my way up from there. Not a mortgage company, but the mortgage division of a bank. And that's kind of what I've been doing since 1985.
What I think is great about that, Greg, though, is your really, your faith and what you're truly all about really drives everything you do. So it doesn't really matter what industry you're in, you are very centered and you're concerned about character and family and local. And I love how you brought in the tagline, and you and I see each other at networking groups throughout the area, and everybody chants, think local, think landmark. Why is that so important to you?
Well, because it's kind of the mantra of the company I work for. The owners live and work and have businesses in the Salem Mid Willamette Valley area, and so they invest a lot in employment and into charities in the area, and they're both people of faith as well. And we try to keep a local presence, and we try to just reach out to those in the community, helping them with mortgages, but also just day to day kind of things.
Right, right. Scott?
Yeah, and Greg, tell me about how you integrate your family, faith, and business all together. I mean, you've been doing this basically your whole career, but you didn't start with the family. Your family came along after that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my wife, fortunately, has been very patient. And there's a lot of times that I have to work weekends and uh, nights and early mornings and things like that. And so she's been very patient as well as my kids. And um, uh, but she helps me. She helps come up with ideas of marketing and so it's really kind of a team effort, I guess. Uh, with her helping me out, and um, I don't know, and I just uh, I I put family and faith first. Work is the means to support my family. Um, it's very important to me, but it's just um, a means to help my family out.
Well, what I love about the way you do that, Greg, is you put your whole heart in it. When I see you at networking groups, you love people, you love the community, you are really pouring yourself out to people. So it's not just a job for you. I mean, yes, your faith and your family are first, which is the way it should be, but you also love what you do. You can see it in the way you go about it, in the way that you interact with people. And really, it's all about helping people in the local community, right?
Yes, definitely. I there's very few things that give me more joy than helping a first-time home buyer or a first-time home buying couple out to get into a home. It's such a rewarding experience. I try to go to all the closings, and just they're so happy when they've signed those documents and they know that it's all done, and just being able to help people. Buying a home is a huge deal for all of us, right? Having
Right.
your own home, and so that throughout the years, that is what has driven me. I still love doing what I do now as much or more than I ever have in my life. I just closed a deal for a couple that they had some struggles in life, and it took them a couple years from when we first started talking to when we finally closed the loan this last month. But they worked hard, and they got themselves into a position that they could buy a home, and we got it done. And it was, man, that was, I'm still riding high after that one.
So that's a
Scott?
that's a good question. Is you're bringing up first time home buyers and prices, of course, of the houses themselves, entry level houses. They're not making a lot of new ones, so that's a tough thing. Interest rates are down, then they're up, then they're down, then they're back up. What kind of recommendations do you have? Let's talk specifically for families. What can families do to help their children get prepared or help them to buy a house?
Yeah, that's a great question, Scott. So, I mean, the first thing is educating your children, right? That, uh, pay your bills on time, have good credit, don't run up a bunch of credit, um, but use it wisely, right? You do need to have credit to get a mortgage typically, but to use that wisely, pay off your credit cards every month, and in the meantime, build up a little bit of savings. Now, there's this misnomer that you have to save 20% to, for a down payment. That's not true. You can get into a home for as little as 3% down. In some cases, no down at all. Get into a home and start building that equity on the home. I strongly encourage getting in as soon as you can, even in a higher, housing price market. I recommend you get in because, if you're not, you're paying rent and you're paying somebody else to pay their mortgage down, right? So you might as well be paying into your own, building your own wealth instead of building somebody else's wealth.
Yeah, no, that is so true. I think that is something that my son and his wife recently dealt with here in the last year or two, and they bought a condo where they live. And, it's great to have people like you that can walk you through the process because I think it's something that goes beyond a lot of us, right? I mean, it's way beyond what I deal with. It's way beyond. I'm not the mortgage guy for sure. So, I appreciate people like you, Greg. They're able to step you through the process that also are enjoying it because you enjoy it. It makes me enjoy it, right?
Right. That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was all business-like and not, I like to develop relationships with people as we're going through the process. By the time we're done, I mean we're friends. At least I feel that way anyway. I don't I don't know if they do necessarily, but um, and I think that's really important, going back to, being local, and, I like to invest in relationships, right? You know that about me, Russ. And,
Right.
building a relationship is the most important thing for all my referral partners, for my clients, my friends, my networking partners. It's building those relationships that's important.
Yeah, that is so true. Scott?
And we were talking a little bit too about community involvement and our faith. So, where do you like to serve in the community, both as an individual and as a business person?
Yeah, so personally, I invest time into our church, doing various things at the church, leading men's Bible study, helping out with our charity events that we have, such as the lights at Morning Star, as a Christmas light show that we do. That's thousands of people come to see, and uh, and also doing other various charity events. The Ask Luncheons and things like that for CASA and uh, ABC House, and just things like that. And then as far as business, again, just investing in places like CASA and the Boys and Girls Club and YMCA and those kind of things when we can. That's the kind of things we like to do as a business.
Yeah. Well, I love that because it all comes back to the community, right? I'm a big proponent in pouring resources back into the community. Part of this, and I think it reflects on our faith, and it reflects on how we feel about our family and how we're surviving in the community. I think it's so important to be thinking about these people that are trying to make things better for people around us, better for their community, whether that is, like you said, you're talking about the Boys and Girls Club, the Family Tree Relief Nursery, any of these people that are out there, United Way, doing stuff in our community, and you are always right behind those. Why did you first get started? What really stood out to you about community organizations like that made you want to get involved?
Well, for one, I mean, our faith dictates that we're helping out the poor and the underserved and the widow and the orphan, right? So, you know, another thing my wife and I have a big heart for is foster children. We did foster care for a number of years, and just uh, these are people, these are kids that have been through a lot, and uh, helping them get their feet on the ground and trying to help them get to a point where they can be, um, you know, contribute to the community in a positive way. That's a great reward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No, it
love
is.
that. CASA, YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, these are all things, ABC House, these are all things that are near and dear to Russ and I. And just so important that we're investing in the future. Whenever I meet a teacher, I say, thank you for protecting our future. And that's really a lot of the way that I look at that. And and they're also vulnerable, and and so that we need to step in and be able to do that. But the nonprofits, uh, volunteers, we need people on the ground. Obviously, they need a financial investment, but also, as we said on boards, they need workers, wisdom, and wealth. And this is something, Greg, that you can also bring in, is that business perspective, because just because it's a nonprofit means it doesn't mean it needs to be poorly managed. And so, thank you for that. Tell us a little bit about your experience, kind of providing some guidance.
in the in the nonprofit area, or just in my work world?
Yeah, you get to decide. And Russ also gets to remind everybody, who's our guest today.
Yes, we're speaking with Greg Bolton. Thank you for that, Scott. We're speaking with Greg Bolton of Landmark, uh, um, of
Professional.
Landmark Professional Mortgage. Thank you. It was all coming out of my mouth. And, you know, Greg is an amazing individual here in the community. We're so thankful to have him on today. But, Greg, go ahead.
Well, as far as work goes, helping people, and we're doing a lot of that lately, is helping people get into a position where they can buy a home, counseling them, consulting them on the steps they need to take to, or they should take to get their credit in place, uh, steps and ideas of how they can save money, um, such as saving, I don't know, $300 or $400 a month in addition to all the other expenses they have. And then down the line, they save money, but they also realize or are able to absorb a larger housing payment. So they have that discipline going. And just steps how to pay off credit, snowballing the credit and things like that. As far as the community, I did volunteer for Habitat for Humanity for a while and for a number of years. And in that, we did a lot of, we searched for the people that we're going to give the homes to, and just my expertise in ability to repay mortgages and things like that came into play when we were, picking a family to give a home to.
Yeah. No, I mean that again, all that you do and your whole perspective and mindset that goes into that, Greg, I think is so important. And that's one thing that we're always talking about on the Experience Local as we focus on believers in business and local community, local businesses. And so thankful. Everybody, again, we're talking to Greg Bolton of Landmark Professional Mortgage, who's an amazing individual here in the community. And Greg, you know, we're so blessed to have you on today. As we begin to wrap things up today, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to let everybody know what you really want them to remember from today's conversation, how you want to inspire them to reach out to their community and the things that they can do. Just really give everybody what you really think is the key points we talked about today from your heart, and then remind everybody how they get in touch with you and give them a last little snippet about your business.
Okay. Well, I would say that if you want your community to be better or to do better, um, then you need to participate in that, right? If you have money that you can spare, share that with the community. Share it with nonprofits, ones that are near and dear to your heart, right? That you have a passion for. But not everybody has the money to give to charity, so then volunteer. Use your time to volunteer. Uh, the community is not going to get better on its own, right? We've got to participate in that. The people that care need to participate in that. So that's what I recommend, is just do something. Don't It doesn't have to be like every day or every week or even every month. Just do something. And if everybody in the community that has the financial means or the physical means to do it, we can make our community better. No problem. Um, as far as what was the last question? As far as my business goes?
Yeah, a little snippet on your business and how people get in touch with you.
Okay. Again, I do mortgages and I do all kinds. I do uh, uh, single family residences all the way up to 4 units. I do VA, FHA, conventional. I do manufactured homes in a park. I do reverse mortgages. I do it all pretty much. Um, and you can reach me at 503-881-3800. 3323. And you can go on my website, Landmark Professional Mortgage. I think it's / Greg Bolton. And then let's see. Oh, my email, greg@landmarkprofessional.net. That's greg@landmarkprofessional.net. And phone number is 503-881-3323.
That is so awesome. So awesome. Scott, any final words?
Yeah, Greg, I'll just say, what an honor to have you on the Experience Local with us today. One of the things that impresses me is that you have stuck with the same career. And in today's world, that's unique. And that shows one thing, that you truly do love it, that you are indeed a professional. And maybe this is a career for those who are looking, what they want to get involved in. And so just in the last moment, I'll say, what would someone want to do if they wanted to learn about this?
Contact me, and I'll help walk them through it. It's a very rewarding job. It's not always the easiest job to do, but it is very rewarding. I can think of, at least me personally, very few things that would be more rewarding than helping somebody get into a home.
Yeah, that's incredible. And the fact that you're able to do that, I heard so many people, Greg, just glowingly talk about you and the process and helping them. And so I just want to thank you again for being on today. Everybody that's watching live, it's right there on the screen, all of his connection information. Greg gave away his phone number at 503-881-3323. And again, everybody, we're talking to Greg Bolton with Landmark Professional Mortgage. His email is greg@landmarkprofessional.net. And Greg, what a blessing to have you on today. What a great heart that you have. And we're going to just thank you as we close the show up today and send you out. But hang tight for just a second as we wrap up the show. Thanks so much, Greg.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, Scott, you've got your solar eclipse glasses on. You're getting ready.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't see a thing. Yeah. Hey, it's been great coming to you live from the silos here in Waco, Texas. Greg, what a great story. Someone who has done the same thing for his entire career since he started. And on the building right behind me, it says, everyone has a story worth telling. And that's one of the things, Russ, that we get to do on the Experience Local and the Experience Live with Russ and Scott every Wednesday morning.
That's right. That's right. And you know what? We're blessed by that. So for those of you globally, don't forget Wednesday morning, 7 a.m., the Pacific Daylight Time at the Experience Live with Russ and Scott we're on. And then here every Monday, we stream live 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time every Monday. And then it goes on radio on KWIL 790. It is on as you may be listening now at 6 p.m. And we're just blessed to be able to reach out to the community. And with that, Scott, I think we're just going to wrap things up for today.
Yeah, Russ, it's always great to hang out with you, even from a distance of a couple thousand miles. But here it is. It's Eclipse Day. We have met people from around the world. Some people I met, they were in South Carolina. So they're in the 2017 eclipse. So we were on coast to coast. We met in the middle. Have a great day, Russ.
Woohoo, you too. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next Monday. Have a good one.
Thank you for tuning in to the Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen to find podcasts. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Catch the audio on KWIL 790 AM Monday evenings at 6 p.m. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Experience Local with Russ and Scott.